There you go.
Welcome, everybody. Hop on in. We have an exciting day for you today. And I have to say, man, what a good time we had yesterday. All of you on here, we got to hang out with Harry Borders, one of our favorite attorneys, closing attorneys. And today, last night, you guys about wore me out. Me and Judy and some of the panel, Jordan and Harry, we all had a great time on the panel. So got to see a bunch of your beautiful faces in person. And that's always a blast. And it just reminds me that all of you should be hosting a local dinner or a local meetup. It is so fun to hang out with cool people face to face and do deals and all sorts of good things happen. So
Hey,
we have
Judah,
a
what
great,
day are we on?
we are on we was just talking about this before we went live, and we finally come to the conclusion we are on day 47, brother.
Day 47. Can you even see that? Hey, you can't see nothing. I'll figure that out. Well, good. It's a big day. We got a lot of things going on. Everybody, type in the chat. As always, how are you feeling 1 out of 10? Put in the chat. What is your energy level? How's your day been? Again, we do this not just so we can see that everyone's a, 8, 9, 10. We do this so we have the awareness of where we are mentally, physically, spiritually, so that as we go over these next couple of minutes, these lessons here, we can always just have that attentiveness. We can have this ability to know exactly where we are. I'm feeling a good 9.5.
Me too. It's been a good day. I got up this morning. Truthfully, I didn't feel the greatest when I woke up this morning. I don't know why. I just didn't feel the greatest. I maybe hadn't slept enough or something. Sometimes they say that affects you, but I'm grateful. I got to get up, get my exercise in, had a nice little routine. It was a shorter routine than usual, but I had a nice routine. Got to work, and it was interesting. And I'll share this with you just because we all have our ups and downs every day, and you'll relate to this. We have a deal Ahmed has been working. It's a nice property we're buying for 25,000 cash, and I've been texting with her to help get it across the finish line. And so I'm sitting on my iPad. I rarely work on my iPad. Normally it's my laptop. And I'm sitting on my iPad and it's not synced for contacts. So this 502 number texts me back, no, thank you. And I was like, crap, no seller tells me no. And so I'm like about to get a little annoyed that a seller told me no, thank you. And I open it up and look, and it's Harry Borders. And I just texted him this morning a nice long thank you text, and he texted me back, no, thank you. so I had a good laugh at myself with that. And I shared that because write this down. Perspective is everything. Perspective is everything. What if we looked at the same text from a different lens? What if we looked at the same deal from a different lens? That's why we're so passionate about the meetups, about the community, about you guys who have joined the Boss Style Accelerator, about our Freedom Life family. Because it happened last night. In fact, I got one of our amazing Freedom Life members, Laura. I don't know if she's on here, took me to dinner because that's what we do. We get to sit down and build businesses. Tonight, Craig and Rich had asked to take me to dinner because they are making a shift in their business. And my objective is to give them a path to add 7 figures to their real estate revenue. Now, what if I give them a path to add 7 figures, but only half gets implemented and only adds 500,000? How many of you would be okay with only adding 500,000 or only 100,000 to your revenue this year? Cool. Give me a thumbs up. All right, good. For those of you who don't need an extra 100,000, I want to learn from you because I always need an extra 100,000. So I want for all of you, though, to be looking at things in a perspective that helps you win. There's so many profit centers. There's so many ways to turn deals to big wins when you're in the right rooms with the right people. And so I'm grateful for all of you today. We have some really exciting notes to share with you. But before we jump in to some nitty gritty, Leo, what do you think is the biggest hurdle that some of our great friends on here are facing, and how can they break through?
Biggest hurdle is always going to come down to one thing, and it is themselves and how they talk to themselves and how they have those conversations with themselves. Every successful person that we know, Andrew, we sit with them. And why do you and I feel so good when we sit with them? Is because they treat us well. And if you meet someone that treats other people well, they typically treat themselves well first. But then you sit down with someone who's a bit crabby, right? They're complaining about things that have happened in the day. They're complaining about the smallest things, or they're bringing up nonsense. And we typically know, Andrew, you and I, we typically know that this person probably does not have great conversations with themselves. They stub a toe and then they punch the wall because the wall stubbed their toe. And they're looking at a drink and getting mad that they made their drink the wrong way, like the world is supposed to serve them. And the beautiful thing is that the world does serve you, but it serves you with the energy that you put out into the world. So if you put a bunch of negative stuff out, it's going to come right back to you. But it all depends on how you speak to yourself. Okay. So that's the biggest thing, is that, however your attitude is how most people, if they're successful, they're going to look at you and they're going to know whether you're successful or not because of the attitude that you bring every single day.
It's so important to us. And I love when I go to lunch or to dinner with someone to watch how they treat the wait staff. Because how we do anything is how we do everything. I love to see people interact at the meetup last night, right? Because we attract really great, like-minded people that you can watch. Inevitably, there's always going to be somebody who shows up and they're there only for one purpose, and that's self-serving. They forget to lead with value. You can pick that person out in a heartbeat. And so be that person who always shows up bringing massive value. When you go to a seller's house in person, or you're hopping on a chat with them on a phone call, they can tell immediately if you're being authentic, right? And you watch me close deals with confidence on the VIP calls. You watch me close deals with confidence. Some of you have seen my recordings where I close deals with confidence. Why? Because I am going in leading with value, number one. And number two, I am 100% authentic. When I'm closing the deal and they tell me they have another cash offer that's more than mine, and I tell them, you should take that. Doesn't bother me at all. Someone at the meetup last night said they had a five deal package for 400,000. And they said the person had told them, I have another cash offer, or another person who's wanting to look at it. And I said, cool. I said, if the other person offers more, they should take it. I said, almost always, because my sincere desire is that they do what's best for them. Now, I know that I'm going to keep my word, and I have no idea who this other person is, if they will or won't. So who we are is going to be who we attract. That is so important to remember. So take the most important daily action steps. Figure out how to connect with the right people and add value to them. For all of you who heard Harry yesterday, I hope you're reaching out to him today, because Harry will add so much value to your life. Harry is going to help you in blowing up your business, making sure that you have the assets set up like you need them to be, making sure your closings are done, making sure you're pointed in the direction of the proper attorney for your area. All of these things come from connections. Connections equals more opportunity. What else should I add to that, Leo, before I jump into talking about what I'm excited to talk about today?
Yeah. So, when we hear that type of stuff, we're like, okay, yes, networking, right? Have a good attitude, have those things. But our prayer is that our words are able to show you the real capacity of what that means. Okay, what if right after this call, you went out and you looked for some more networking events, and then you went out there and met 6 people, and you implemented this idea of having a great attitude? Now, all of a sudden, you have 6 new people. Let's just say they're wholesalers. Now they're all sending you deals. Perfect. Now you just upgraded your business 2 times, where it's really just like a game. And that comes from a perspective of life, right? A perspective creates action every single day. How your perspective is will really create the results that you're going to have over the next 12 months. Because if me and Andrew have this perspective that there is an abundance of money, an abundance of people, and an abundance of happiness for us, then every day we're going to go looking for it. We're going to make the calls and give people great attitude because we're grateful for life. right? We're grateful that we have the ability to breathe. So we're gonna show up with that type of energy. And guess what? That energy is going to be transferred over the phone. It's going to be transferred over different people, and people are going to treat us differently. Opportunity is going to come. Opportunity is created through the perspective that we have of life. So when we're speaking about this, of course, our wish again is that instantly, boom, we're switched, we're changed. Awesome. Let's just start having a great attitude. But it doesn't happen that way. But at least we can sit down and create an intention. You know what? I want to be 20% more optimistic today. You go do that because that's something you can do. You can be 20% optimistic. What does that mean? What does that look like? Okay. I don't know. I'm tired today. It's going to be it's probably going to be a crappy day. 20% more optimistic just means, you know what? It's a cloudy day, but I'm still alive. That's 20% more optimistic. You can do that, right? You could say that. Let's just say 20 more percent. This is getting to the range of where me and Andrew are always at. You know what? It's cloudy, but that means I get to enjoy my time. I get to talk to some good people. Traffic's probably going to be pretty easy. So I'm gonna go out to a coffee shop today and do some work, and I'm gonna enjoy it. That's 40% more optimistic. Can we do those incremental steps? Absolutely. This is how we change our attitude.
I think that is a very important note, Leo, and thank you for that. It's powerful for each of us when we make these minor habit changes. I always tell people I would rather you make one call a day for the next month than I would you make 10 calls after this call today and never make another one, right? Because some is better than none. Momentum, write this down. Momentum equals results. Momentum equals results. The snowball effect is real. The action you take today will continue to determine the results you get tomorrow, but it compounds over time. For all of you, I want to continue to see you step into more of the right rooms and the right tools. Last night was so fun to me. It got me all invigorated. And when I say it was so nice seeing many of you in person, I love it. You guys energize me. I had so much fun, and I have fun because I was watching light bulbs go off, right? And I was talking to someone afterwards who said to me that they felt unqualified to help some of the people that had come up to them asking for help. And I said to that person, I said, let's imagine you've done 5 flips and someone comes up to you asking how to, I don't know, get the 6th, right? Someone comes up to you asking, how do I get my first 2 flips? And you say to them, this is what I did. Are you qualified to help a person get the first 5, just like you've done? Absolutely. Now, are you qualified to help somebody do 100 terms deals? Maybe not. But there's 2 things you can do. You can write these down. Number 1, you can answer. If you have the answer, you can answer the question. Many of you have a lot of great information to share, experience. And number 2, you can point. I talk a lot, Leo and I talk a lot about being the host rather than the guru, right? Because we're all about collaboration and connection. So although we may get the privilege of leading the incredible group, and we love doing that, there's nothing wrong with pointing, right? Professionalism by association. So those of you, you're doing it on this call. Some of you have already brought other people on this call because you know there's a source here that is so massively powerful for you. So on top of making sure you are connecting with the right people, taking the right actions, and tomorrow we're going to get into a bunch more deal structuring. But what else, Leo, should they be keeping in mind to do right now to keep this momentum that they've been building the last month and a half with us?
Absolutely. So some people who have been here for 47 days straight, some people it's day 1. First of all, congratulations, everyone who is here, because somehow, some way, you have found a way to get into this room. We didn't ask for anything. We just say, hey, come join this room. We're going to coach you for free. And somehow you stumbled upon and you're taking the time out to do it. There's a lot of people who sit down and they'll thank you for the first 10 minutes. Guys, thank you so much for being here. For us, this is what me and Andrew would do anyways. We're sitting with our people and we're teaching what we love to do. And of course, you guys are here on, in front of us, just happening to be here. So that's the first thing I'll say. Again, if you're in day 1, what's the most beautiful thing about it? Is that it's exciting, it's fresh, you have momentum that is starting. so you can start to build a snowball of action because it's so exciting. You're like, oh my gosh, what is this new thing? I'm gonna get started on it. I'm gonna start making some calls. It's gonna be great. And then day 4 rolls around, you're done. You're tired. You're sleepy. You're not. It's had a tired day. I'm actually not gonna show up. They're doing it for 60 days. I don't need to show up. And that starts to happen. But what if, on day 4, you wake up again, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get started. This is so exciting. This day 4. I've been doing this for 4 days. I've been doing calls for 4 days. I already got 12 people to say yes. Oh man, this is gonna be awesome. And I got 16 pages of notes, and I'm not one of those people that just take one page of notes. Who does that? Who does that? I'm 16 pages because I'm making my calls and I'm looking back at the paper, and I'm always, exciting. Day 16 rolls around. You're like, oh my God, it's day 16. We're ready to go. We're ready to rock. It's gonna be a great fucking time. What if what if you just had that type of motion every single day where you weren't like the other 99% who lets momentum die, and then they have to build momentum up again and light the fire again, and then it dies out and you gotta light the fire again for the next 20 years versus a couple people on here. They light the fire and the candle's lit. It's an infinite candle, and that fire just keeps going. It's not a huge fire. You're not making 6,022 calls in a day. You're making 6. You're doing 6 calls. It's a nice little fire, but it doesn't go out. That fire doesn't burn out, right? And guess what? This candle, I'm talking about you here, for those of you who are on here, that candle, guess what? You're going to take that candle and you're going to light everybody else's candle around you. But when you do that, does your candle ever go out when you light other people's candle? No, it goes, phew, they get that same flame as you. That's how we create a culture. That's how we create a team. That's how we create a bunch of other people who are also just as excited as you. So that if your fire ever does go out, guess what? You got another candle. You got 60 other candles to light you back up. That's the energy of momentum. That's what it means to have a community. And that's why we're here today, is because we have each other to light each other up on fire. And me and Andrew, our fires don't go out, and we got each other to light each other's fire. But we're just doing that with you guys. Now it's your turn to become the leaders, to go into your market, your community, learn the most you can, go take action. So you spark this up in all of your market and you become the expert. This is why you're here. All right. Hope you got that. Hope you took some notes there. Again, you're not the type of person that doesn't take notes. You're like a whole notebook type of person every 30 minutes, like Elizabeth here.
Something interesting that I love what you said, Leo. I was doing something the other day, moving some stuff around in my house, and I found some notebooks from 2014 when I was just starting this business. And I was like, holy crap. Because things that I was writing back then that I believed were dreaming so big came to pass many years ago now. And I shared that it's so powerful because, number one, I've gone back through those notes many times over the years and gained a lot of insights that have helped me grow this business. And number two, I look back at those notes and things that I now remember as another normal thing because we do them hundreds of times over. It's a big moment of like, oh my goodness, this point can really change my life. That's where some of you are. You're here, you're hanging out with us for these 60 days. Some of you hanging out with us last night. We had an amazing time. And you're seeing this. You're going, I want that. I want some of this. I want to figure out how to be a part of that. I want to get the money. I want to get the energy right. I want to get my balance right. My life. I want this. And we want you to have this. That's why we're showing up and showcasing it for you and spreading it to you. And our objective is to continue bringing people together in a place where we can succeed together and grow together. Something you hear me say often, and write this down: commitment equals results. Underneath that, write down: no risk, no goodies. You're going to see people often. You're going to see me negotiating deals. And when I am talking to a tenant buyer, you immediately hear me get to the point of, awesome, when would you like to meet, and go ahead and put in a deposit to lock in the home. You're going to see me immediately get to the point, awesome, So any more questions before I send you the purchase agreement to go ahead and move forward? Why? Because I know that until we get to that point, it's hot air. Anybody can say, oh, yes, I would love to do this. But until there is a value trade, right? For those of you who have invested in our community, you know that's exactly how we live every step of the way, and we want you to live. You get on an application call. If you're approved, say, okay, awesome. When will you be ready to move forward once you're approved? Why? Because I don't like la la land. I don't like being in the middle. I don't like being in a place of indecision. Indecision is the biggest time waster in our life. Either you're in or you're out. Either we're going to do this or we're not. And most of the time when a seller starts wavering on me, when a seller starts saying, well, I do want to do this, but I really need to check with this, and I really need to think about that. And they're doubting their decision, right? Now, how many of you have ever made a wrong decision? Give me a thumbs up if you've made a wrong decision. All right, I've made like lots of them. So I'm giving you lots of thumbs up. Except we're all alive and we're all here. So I'm okay with that because making a wrong decision did not kill me. Making a wrong decision didn't hurt me in the long run. It helped me grow. It helped me learn. And so for all of us, we realize that life is a gift, a blessing every day. And every day that we waste in the moment of indecision, every day we allow a seller to sit in the moment of indecision. The deal I was just telling you about, we had a call. Ahmed has been working this deal, and I called her and I said to her, she wanted us to come out and see, or excuse me, she wanted us to contract it virtually. And then she got wavering. Her husband had said something different. So we got on the phone with her, tried to get her husband on. We scheduled to go see the property in person to get the deal. Last minute, they canceled. The next day, they canceled again. So I texted her. She texted me at 10:30 p.m. at night. Now, you don't have to be crazy like me. I just like to get crap done. That's the kind of way I am. I was up, so why not? So I grabbed the phone and I called her about 2 minutes after she texted me. I said, Lindsay. She said, yes. I said, so obviously it's not working for us to get in the house. It didn't work to contract this virtually. I said, where's the point of resistance that I can take away to get this deal done for you if this is what you actually want to do? Write this down, cut through the crap. See how I'm getting to a conclusion? She says, well, I don't know. I've got 6 kids. I've just been busy. I do want to sell it. She said, and my husband thinks I can get more than we agreed on. I said, cool, maybe you can, maybe you can't, but you can't get nothing until I know what the house is like. So what would you like me to do? She said, I would like to sell you the house. I said, cool. So the price we agreed on was $25,000, correct? She said, yes. I said, so if I send you an agreement now for $25,000, are you ready to okay it and move forward? Or will your husband want you to do something different? Because it seems like, do we just need to bring him in on a call? I said, because that's where the hangup keeps happening when we agree on something and then you talk to your husband. I said, how can we all get on the same page here? I'm just being very direct, kind but direct. And she says to me, no. If you send an agreement for 25K, we're ready to okay it and move forward. I said, cool. I said, so the next steps are you're going to get an agreement from me. You're going to okay that. As soon as you do, we're going to start the title search. Write this down. Give clear directive. It's no secret that all of you on here, I want to come hang out with us for 3 days, August 14, 15, 16, because I know the life transformation that you're going to get when that happens. That's why we spend time encouraging you to do that. And that's why we spend 40 grand putting on this 3-day event, because we know there's going to be some people who leave there with transformed lives and blowing up their businesses. Now, also, I know it's not for everybody, and I'm okay with that. Except we know by putting this on, it's going to bring a group of 75 or 80 people, more money, more revenue, more deals, more opportunity, more connections. Oh, and it's going to serve us really well because it's going to do the same for us getting to host it. So it's a win-win-win. Give clear directives. I said, so after we move forward with the agreement on the house, you told me your cousin lives there. Our next steps are going to be after we start the title search to get in to see the property in person. So we can coordinate that with you, your cousin, your husband, I don't care, but we'll figure it out prior to closing. I said, then lastly, when would you like to close? And she said, well, they need 60 days to find a place. I said, okay, we have 2 options. Write this down. Choice A or choice B. I said, we have two options. Either A, we can go ahead and close on it right away, and we will hold $5,000 back until your cousin's out. Because obviously, if we had to evict them, that would come out of your proceeds after closing when they didn't move out. She goes, no, no, I understand that. I said, or option B, we can go ahead and contract the deal and just wait to close on it until your cousin's out. Which would you prefer? Right? Both, I don't mind either way. Both are a win-win. Gets her what she needs, gets us what we need. So for all of you, I just want you to be clear and distinct about where you're headed. What's our objective? How does this relate to you? When you are on a phone with a seller, you're either getting a deal cash way below value, or you're buying it on payments over time. When you're on hanging out with us for 3 days, you're there to serve and to be served, right? You're there to connect and to give. So be distinct, be clear about where you're headed. Leo, what else should you add to that before we show them this, get their feedback on this cool video John just made for us?
So you're giving ideas like cut through the crap, give clear directive, doing an option close. Like, do you want option A or B? Not like, do you want to sell your house? No, is it option A or B? Is this a better time or is this a better time? It's an option close, right? So these are all sales skills. These are the ability to learn the art of closing, the art of negotiation. And you utilize the art of negotiation towards this business of buying on owner finance, selling on lease option, aka the real estate investing business and the strategy that we choose. So I like to break down Andrew's teaching quite a bit so that every day as we're learning, we get to break it down for, okay, that's an option close. He's telling me to better my sales skills right there. I'm going to add that to my toolbox and then cut through the crap. What does that mean? It means, hey, that's a mentality when you're on the phone. Let's just cut through the BS. Let's cut through the BS. They're going to be fluffy, fluffy, fluffy. Let's cut through it and skip all of it. For what? For speed of the conversation. Okay, now, why do we teach at such a high level sometimes? It's because we only got 30 minutes. We only got 30 minutes on these days, and we have a whole 10 years of Andrew's experience to break down in 60 days. This is why we tell you guys to come to the event, right? The whole reason we do these 60 days is to give as much as possible. But we also know that there's different types of learners. There are some people on here that are killers, and they could just listen for 30 minutes and they'll go out there and they'll start doing some deals. I'm not that way. I would be, honestly, after 14 days, I'd be like, my brain is destroyed. I need to travel somewhere to learn. And I need to be there in person because I can't just sit on a screen for longer than, honestly, for me, a couple days.
Because information just hits different from Bali, don't it, Leo?
It sure does. That's why we spend 40 grand to put on an event, to get a nice venue, to get nice food, so you guys can have a cool experience. That's why we charge like 500 bucks instead of charging you 40 grand to come to this event, because we're teaching, we're hosting. Pay us 500 bucks and you get that seat. So we can teach you again for 3 days straight, but it's a different type of learning. It's hand-on. It's actually sitting down with each other. And this is literally what happens, guys, is we have our scripts that we use. Everybody's going to get a partner at this event, and you guys are going to be practicing these scripts. All right, guys, we're going to practice the option close. This is what you're going to say. All right, let's do it. Everybody gets to actually practice it. And we wish we could do that on a 30-day. And of course, our mastermind, our boss flow get that every day. However, for those of you who just want to come to an event and who want to experience what it's like to do this business really well, that's why you come to an event like this. And the reason also we put 60 days is we give you guys 60 days to test run me and Andrew before you commit to fly out to Louisville to come see us for 3 days. We do not expect you at all, guys, to come to us for 1 day and to be like, oh, these guys are it. These guys are awesome. I'm going to fly out there, spend 500 bucks to work with them. It's that we want to do, it's a lead magnet. We want to have you guys be around us for a little while. All right. But one of the biggest things before we show this video, because I want you to see what it's like. But before we show the video, I want you to have the understanding of what holds most people back. It's that they do not have the faith that they can do it. And they don't want to show face, and they don't want to try. because what if they don't do it? Okay. And my mentor did this one day and he says, we've been through a lot. We always use our hands, and we've been using our hands for so long to, be hands-on training, to go fix things, from our lives. I want everyone real quick. This is what my mentor did to me. He said, raise your right hand. Raise your right hand, everybody. Even if you're driving, just kidding. Don't do it if you're driving. All right, raise your left hand. Okay, and then just rub them together. Just rub them together like some fire. Okay. And just look at your hands for a moment and just realize all the things that you've been through over the past decade, 2 decades, over these past years. And you've done so much. You've gone through so much. You can do the things that you want to do. Sometimes you just need that guidance. Sometimes you just need a little bit more fire from other people who have found it on their own way. But you have to understand all the stuff that you've been through over the past couple of years, so you can absolutely do it and you can absolutely take action. And I really want you guys to have that belief in yourselves, because that's what's going to work, honestly, for the business, for you, for your families, is that faith that you have in yourself, because faith creates determination to keep going.
Absolutely.
Let's show that video. I saw it today. I was like, hey, that's really cool.
This is
John
fun.
did really well.
So we need you all's feedback. So we're going to take questions after the video. Tomorrow, we're going to get into more deal structuring. The video, our amazing social media team, John, made this. And so we want your feedback, deciding if we should edit a few more things that I want to tweak, or if we should leave it as is. So 1 out of 10, once it's done, I want you to rate it. Should we leave it, or should we edit it a little bit?
Yeah, because we're going to put this
one thing
out.
has helped over 100 and
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, because we're planning to put, just so you guys know kind of the essence here, we have not put this event out in public. It's only been to the 60-day people, to you guys. We're going to use this video. It's going to go out to everyone. That's why we need the feedback. But also, when we do put it out in public, it's going to sell out probably in the next couple of days. So just wanted to let you guys know that as you guys are watching the video. Just let us know how we should do better.
this one thing has helped over 119 people transform their real estate investing businesses.
The reason we became investors is not to create a time-sucking, life-draining machine of a business. You did this so you could have more time for your family, more time for the people that you love, to be able to do the things that you really love to do.
After attending tons of real estate events over the last decade and doing hundreds of deals, we asked ourselves, how can we create an event that brings together real estate investors with lenders, with buyers, where everyone has a servant's heart? So we created this 3-day experience where we take a decade of real estate knowledge to help you get to the next level. We share our lead sources, how we are finding motivated sellers by the hundreds, creative deal structures, how we've structured hundreds of deals for the biggest profits, owner financing, low and no interest loans from sellers, lease options, getting landlord cash flow without landlord headaches, networking. We bring together people who have done hundreds of deals, as well as those looking for their first, to create massive win-win network. The next one is coming up in just a few weeks. The testimonials we get coming out of these are mind-blowing. In fact, the last one we had, Chris actually bought a house while he was there. It was funded by a lender at the event and closed by a closing attorney at the event. Warning, you may accomplish more in 50 minutes in this group than you will in 50 weeks on your own. Grab your tickets, only if you're ready for a quantum leap.
All right. How
I
you
think
rate
it's
it?
pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I think it captures a piece of what you actually feel at the event. Not the whole thing. That's like 10% of what you actually feel. But I think it's good. What do you guys think?
1 out of
Type it in the
10.
chat. How do you feel about it? Give us a rating, 1 out of 10, or give us an A, B, C, D rating. And be honest, because we fix things and we don't take it personally. We go out there and we fix things.
So I'm trying to decide, Leo, I don't know if you caught this, but when I watched it, it says instead of lease options, it says leased options. I'm trying to decide if that will help drive engagement, because I like leaving a little messed up thing sometimes, just so people love to comment on it and say that was spelled wrong, and then it drives engagement. Then there comes like a place where you want it to look professional. So I've been
Might as well spell everything wrong if it's going to get more engagement.
absolutely. You're
I like
the
it.
master
Okay.
of viralities. You have to help me out with that one.
So I see a lot of people saying 10, and I know a lot of people want to come, but still only half of us on here have gotten tickets. So what I want to do before we put this out to the public, guys, before we put it out to my 150,000 followers, before we put it to Andrew's huge list, I want you guys to be there because you guys have been around us for either one day or 47 days straight. So of course, the 47 days straight ones are going to be a lot more inclined, but I want to give a chance for you guys to get a ticket. There's still only about half of you there. It's I believe $697, but we have a discount code that brings it to about 500. Okay. So Paul's going to put it in the chat right now. So Paul Flaherty, just put it in the chat. Get your Chuka ticket today. And then, you know, we did a series where everybody who got a ticket, they got a one-on-one from me. But what's going to happen now is everyone who gets a ticket, they get every Wednesday and every Friday, we're going to be closing your deals, calling your deals. So you're going to be coming to these calls. And then Wednesday and Friday, we're going to be closing your deals. And I want you guys to start networking early. You know, I've been doing a series called The Art of Conversation for about a month now. It's gotten about 4 million views and about 130,000 new followers on social media because it works, because it truly teaches people how to converse with people. How do you break out of your confidence? How do you break out of your shell to really be the most charismatic version of yourself? So it translates to everywhere, your relationships, your friendships, the people that you just meet, your sales calls, talking to different attorneys, talking to different people. It's all conversation. And the key to wealth is through communication, through conversation. So what's going to happen is those of you who have not signed up yet, I want to make sure that you all do right now. Go into the chat, at least tap the link so you have the information, so you have it there. But those who sign up today, I want to do an art of conversation call with all of you. And I want to teach you guys and personally teach you the art of conversation to help you break out of your shell, to help you break out of some of the things you've been struggling with over the past couple of years. Because I did this with a lot of our team. I did this with a lot of our students. It's just that you have to have a conversation for someone as a coach to say, hey, I noticed that you stutter. I noticed that you say this and this and this. I noticed that you do this. No one actually tells you this because it's not a coaching mentality when you're talking to friends or talking to a spouse. But when you have a coach look at you, have a conversation, and sometimes just make a minor tweak or a huge tweak, that's what changes your life forever. Okay. So all of you guys who already have tickets, yes, you're also going to get that. It's going to be a call for you guys to also get. But for those who have not gotten your seats yet, who have not saved your seats, get it before we put it out to the public because it will sell out probably in the next couple of days. All right. Say aye if you already got a ticket. And yes, if you are going to get your ticket today.
That's amazing. To note something, and we're going to get these questions now, is this communications call with Leo is masterful. I cannot begin to describe when Leo and I became friends and he started helping me reframe my wording. I got better at closing. I got better at relationships. I got better at networking. That's a big one. And a lot of things. It's huge. And the other part of this is tomorrow, after you get your ticket, all of my ticket holders, my Boss Flows, my Freedom Lives, we're hanging out after this daily call tomorrow and next Wednesday and next Friday. And we're dialing your deals, closing your deals for you. You keep 100% of the profits. We're just there to help out and to give you some extra fire there. So questions, what's our questions today, Paul?
All right. First question today comes from Jory Mathis. She says, what is a normal option deposit? Is it 25% down?
I love 25%. We've gotten a heck of a lot more than that a few times. My average is about 10%.
All right. Next question comes from Andrew. He says, I got off the phone with a gentleman right before this call. I was calling FSBOs today with your script. Great job. He said, this gentleman I spoke to has about 20 properties. He said he's not interested in owner financing and can't do sub 2 on any of them because they are free and clear. Did I hear you correctly that you would rather get a lease option than owner finance? I'm thinking about how to approach that when I talk to him again this evening.
First off, way to go, Andrew. Killing it on the calls. I love that. Proud of you for that. tomorrow I'm going to be delving in more to deal structures. We're going to be talking more about this, and you'll get a lot out of that. To briefly answer that, I like selling on lease option. I prefer to buy on under finance. The first objective, especially with a landlord like this, who's likely quite savvy, is to make sure, I don't know which Andrew it is, if you're in the Bobslow or in the Freedom Life, if you're one of our Bobslow Andrews, then hop over to your coach and let's three-way call this. If you're not, all good, but get on the phone with them and find out why they don't want owner finance to you. If it is about risk or deeding it to you, then absolutely a lease option is a viable option.
All right, next question comes from Mimi, and she says, can you talk a little bit about Freedom Soft Management Solutions software?
Absolutely. Freedom Soft was a good software. My friend Rob runs that company. We no longer use it. We've developed an in-house software, Mimi, that has replaced that. Plus, Arnie is the guy's the robot's name. He schedules all the appointments for you. He texts your buyers for you. He texts your sellers for you. He does it all. So for all of you that are doing deals actively and ready to invest in the software, definitely reach out to our team and we can hop on and one-on-one see if our software is a fit for your business.
Good stuff. We got a comment there from Lynette. She says, I got my bags packed and excited to go to Louisville. So definitely, guys, click on the link, grab your tickets if you haven't already. They're $6.95 with a nice 98 discount on there. So really excited for everyone who's coming to Louisville.
Absolutely. Any more questions?
Somebody else made a comment, said, what can we do to make Leo love flying to Louisville? I'm excited to fly to Louisville. I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to go to Louisville, but I know Leo, he likes California. He likes San Francisco and the conveniences in San Francisco.
I'm a Cali boy.
Bring some high energy.
Originally
Leo
of
will love it.
California to the country. All right. But I'm going out there for you guys. So that's you guys will make me go. That's the only thing I can force me to go to Louisville is you guys, seeing your guys' faces and enjoying my time with you all.
We
I
do
love
have
it.
one last question from Patrick. He says, do you recommend REI print mail?
We've used them for years off and on, Patrick. They've always treated us well. It goes up and down year over year. Corey Meeker runs that company, and we've bought a lot of houses from them. Currently, it's not our highest rate of return for dollars of ads spent. So awesome questions. All right, guys. Tomorrow, same place, same time. We're going to be back here. We're going to be talking about deal structures. We have a jam-packed Friday for you. We have a jam-packed 12 more days ahead with you guys, 13 days, whatever's left now.
Well, we only got 12 more?
We have 13. This is day 47.
13 more. It's coming to an end, guys.
Flying by.
For those of you who come to the event, it just never ends.
Absolutely. We'll see you tomorrow. Same place,
Bye,
same
guys.
time. Bye for now,
Take care.
guys.